Hi, I'm Ryan Murphy from P3 Kinesiology. I'm here to show you bridging. So this is one of my favorite hip extension exercises in Pilates. You can do it even if you have lower back issues or you're dealing with kind of things where you may not be able to bear weight and do a squat or do something else where we might try to affect our hips. You can do this lying. And so really what you're trying to do is articulate your spine through a little bit of the range of motion, like you're peeling it off the floor and then laying it down kind of piece by piece. But really the main kind of focus is finding that hip extension. So that heel to hip, imagine you're kind of pulling your heel to your hip, trying to find the glutes and the hamstrings. And then you can make it harder in a whole bunch of different ways. And I'm showing you a version here where you let the arms go and you move them through a range of motion, pressing down as your hips go up and then the arms raise as the hips lower. And it adds a little bit of a stability component. You're not completely relying on the stability of your shoulders as you lay yourself down. But then really to add complexity or add challenge to this movement, we can add a bunch of things. You can use bands, balls. There's a whole host of tools you can use, and a ball between the knees can be a really great tool for giving a little bit of support, and I'll show you that in a minute. So this is hip twist. This is one of the variations. You're maintaining a little bit of that bridge, that tuck of the pelvis, scoop the belly, and then you're twisting the pelvis side to side. So then you can add a ball between the knees for this, or a block for that matter, or that magic circle, the Pilates circle you see in the background. And so now you're doing the same twist, but you have an anchor point that engages the inner line a little more. Think about lengthening from that ball to your head or the shoulders. You're trying to lengthen between those 2 points. And so then you can do a bunch of things to make this more challenging, but really the next one that I like to do is kicking one leg out. So keeping that ball pretty still. And that ball is a proxy for your pelvis. So trying to keep the pelvis nice and still as those legs kick out. And so now you're creating anti-rotation. So instead of twisting the pelvis and the hips, you're actually trying to counter that rotation and stabilize towards the standing leg. So this one's called marching. This is a variation of marching, really. It's just a leg extension. And then the next exercise I'll show you is marching, where you're actually moving at the hip rather than at the knee. So you take the ball out and you go to the top of your bridge again, and you maintain that range of motion as you flex at the hip to lift one of your knees up. So you keep your knees bent around the same angle the whole time, and you're just lifting one leg at a time. And again, trying to counter rotate, keep that pelvis square, keep the spine square, so that again, as that leg lifts, you're really stabilizing on that standing hip.